How do you see yourself in this lineup?
In terms of placing,
Yeah.
I think top 7. Well, top 7 is my minimum goal. I was number 8 last year.
Yeah.
So of course you always want to improve yourself at least with one. But the top 5 is allowed to do the posing routine in the evening. So that's my ultimate goal, to be able to showcase in classic physique your physique exactly how you want it in those 3 minutes of posing.
Yesterday I was with Mike Summerfield and he told me that CBUM is unbeatable this year.
Yeah?
What do you think about that?
Well, that's not the right term. Because if you say unbeatable, you're already giving up. I think he's very beatable. If
This year?
Yeah. Yeah, because why would it be beatable next year? I mean, every year is the same. I mean, he's not going to change. And so, I think his physique could be exposed if he's put next to other people as well. For example, next to me. Because if I am compared to him, then you see 2 different physiques.
Yeah.
He has strengths over me, but I also have strengths over him.
For an example?
Well, in classic physique, it's also about the flow and beauty and proportions of the physique. And my physique doesn't showcase any flaws in terms of the muscle insertions, muscle lines, which if you're very honest, Chris Bumstead, his biceps are not his strong point. He has a torn bicep even. His hamstring is torn, his quads, one of his quad is torn. Of course he's still number 1, which proves that his physique is so good that even though he has torn muscles, he's still winning.
Do you think this is because the flow of his physique?
Yeah, the flow, the silhouette. So he has the proportions that showcases a very narrow waist, broad shoulders, and good proportions overall. But if you also put someone next to him who's even taller, who has the same amount of mass, also with good proportions, and with comparable conditioning, then it could expose, like sure, he could still win this year, but it might open up eyes of judges and maybe the audience that, wait a second, the difference isn't really as big as we thought. Because now, instead of comparing pictures, you're literally seeing it live happening next to each other. So of course I'm not saying that I could beat him or am better than him, but all I'm saying is I want to be next to him to see what really difference is. Okay, I know what his strengths over mine are, but as I mentioned, there are some body parts that I have that are comparable and even better than his. So then you can see the total package comparison, and then we'll see what the true difference is. And also for me it will be nice because then I can see how long do I still have to improve until I can beat someone like Chris. But it's not just Chris, it's like number 2, 3, 4. If I would be compared to them as well, like in the top 5, that could change things too. But that's the ultimate dream, of course.
You compete twice this year, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think happened in Dubai? I think you has a great shape there.
Yeah, me too. I think what happened is
Better than the before.
Yeah, better than the week before. Yeah.
How do you think about that?
I agree. It was better. It was my best shape ever, basically. There are a couple of things I can objectively point to that Ralph Diesel, the winner, had better than me, but the other way around as well. So it really was a subjective judging decision. We simply like this package more compared to yours, but it's hard to really pinpoint what it was. It's maybe the overall flow, the presentation, yeah. But at the same time, I did showcase a more dominant physique.
Yeah.
When I do a frontal bicep, there was no denying that I won that pose for sure. Side chest, I mean, it was also pretty dominant over the winner.
About the poses, in Dubai you hit side double biceps. I don't know how to say.
Yeah,
it.
3/4 frontal bicep. Yeah.
Where did you come?
I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger do it, and I put his posing routine in slow motion to see, okay, how does he go to this pose? How does he place his hips?
Yeah.
How does he place his legs as opposed to the upper body? And I know that a lot of people compared me to Arnold before
That's a major inspiration.
Yeah, so I try to do the pose like him, and all of a sudden, whoa, it's very similar. So of course, and also because almost nobody else can do it, even though they do exactly the same motion,
It's not the same thing.
it doesn't look the same, so they might as well, for example, I can't do the Frank Zane pose, because like this,
Yeah.
it doesn't look good on me,
No.
so I'm not gonna do it. But with the dominant Arnold pose, the most famous classic physique winner of all time, it's his most dominant, iconic pose, and I can do it as well. Of course I'm gonna make use of it.
Can you hit a front double and a side chest?
Yeah, of course, of course.